Rochester, New York, home of the inside of my house, the stuff outside my window, and postponed events. It's FC3's Monkey Business, starring me, Billy DeTore, Tanya Metris, and Chris Frank, all in stunning 3D. And it's time for Monkey Business.
Oh, boy.
Bravo.
Did I do okay? I know I forgot something.
No, that was
It's okay.
But
That's
that's
fine.
what I came up with.
I'll take
That's
it.
fine.
I'm going to run with that one.
This is what happens when we have been stuck inside our house, most of us, looking at things outside of our house and not being able to go to any of our events that we wanted to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I get that wonderful essential tag, so I'm out and about all the time, all
I
day
know.
long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to all these people saying, "Oh, I'm getting so much stuff done at home," and I'm like, I wish I could.
I actually got outside for the first time in a long time. I raked the leaves
Mm-hmm.
in my yard today. Other than
How'd
that,
that
I've been
feel?
watching movies. My arms started to hurt.
Welcome back to physical activity.
Exactly.
No kidding.
Oh, I've been watching TV and listening to podcasts and napping and doing all the things I'm really good at. I'm using all my best superpowers.
You're doing your part for humanity. I'm
I-
proud of
definitely.
you, Billy.
I'm doing my best.
Madonna Mia, I'm telling you. So how you guys doing?
Good.
I was going to say, not too bad.
Not too bad.
No.
Are we sure? We had to think about that one.
Oh, it depends. I was still feeling a little under the weather from last night, so
Aw, Sally.
that's okay. So, making sure I have enough snackage in my system before I go to bed tonight.
That's a good plan.
I haven't had that problem.
Oh my God. This is the first time in probably a couple years that I have had, well, second time in like the last year, but the first time at night where I've had a low with my blood sugar level.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I
Yeah,
got woke
I've
up
had
this
that
morning.
and it
Are
stinks.
you recording, Tanya?
Yeah.
I
I don't
see.
see.
I see your files.
It says
You see
recording in
her?
process.
Okay.
The little timer's timing. It says recording in progress on
Yeah,
all
but
of
I don't
ours.
see your. I don't see your stuff. Your soundtrack though.
I do.
I
You
do.
Why don't
do.
I see it? Okay.
I don't know. I'm hiding.
Oh.
I'm playing hide and seek. Come find
She's
me.
hiding. She's hiding.
Okay. Good. I just want to make sure that.
Yeah,
we're
no,
getting
I
it.
haven't. No, my glucose level dropped to 90 last night, about 145, and I woke up feeling really, really nauseous and not feeling 100%. And it was not a pretty picture in our house at 145. And then I got a snack, and then climbed back into bed, but I didn't go back to sleep until like close to 3.
Mine doesn't
So-
start to affect me until I get down to like 70.
Well, I normally run anywhere between like 110 and 130 is like my normal baseline.
Mhm.
I just think I run at a higher number, so that was low for me. And then this morning, when I finally got up out of bed and started getting ready for my day around 10 o'clock, because I just still wasn't feeling that great, my number was at 94, which is the first time in a long time that I've been under 100 in the morning, because that's what they usually want you to be, is right around 100 or a little under, and I was at 94. So I had a quick snack for breakfast and ran out to Walmart to grab fabric because Anne's making more fabric masks.
Okay.
So we're going to work on that tomorrow night. And so I did that. And when I was at Walmart, I was like, okay, I need something sugary. So I was bad and got a Milky Way bar, but I needed that to bring me back up. And then I grabbed lunch and then on my way home. But so I'm still feeling a little off kilter, but I had lunch and then I had broccoli cheddar soup for dinner with crackers. So I'll make sure I have a snack before bed, like maybe apple with peanut butter or something like that.
There's the problem. Broccoli will kill you every time.
Yeah, but I didn't have that last night. I had that tonight for dinner, and believe me,
I would worry about tonight now.
oh,
Broccoli is going to get you.
Well,
No,
how is
they-
that?
I don't know. I hate broccoli.
Oh, I tell you, I love it's the Panera broccoli cheddar soup. I got a 2-pack at like Wegmans or Walmart or something like a week ago. So I had the second half for dinner tonight, and it was delicious. I like broccoli. I just
I'm
don't
all
like.
right with
I don't like raw broccoli. I like cooked broccoli.
Oh, hook me up with some hummus or some blue cheese dip, and we're off and running. I'm good with that.
With broccoli?
Yeah,
You like raw broccoli?
yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with it?
I love raw broccoli.
Crunchy.
Yeah, it's too crunchy. I don't know. It's like ugh. Maybe because it seems somewhat dry.
More for
The
us.
only good broccoli is Cubby Broccoli, producer of James Bond movies.
Wow, where'd that come from?
We were talking broccoli.
Oh, okay.
Seriously, there was a conversation about broccoli happening at that moment in time.
Oh, okay.
Life is good, though. How about you, Dano? How's things at your end of things?
Doing good. I mean, I feel like I'm working more at home than I have been at the office. So it's kind of weird. So, but I'm keeping busy. So I guess it's good. I'm lucky still. I can still work. So
True. True.
I
Take
am
what I can.
starting to miss actual sort of society and like working and having a schedule and
That one of my coworkers, everyone out in FC3 podcasting land knows that I'm a teacher, and if they don't, they do now. There's days where we complain, going, "Oh my god," we're just like because everything's annoying us. The kids are annoying us, whatever. And I got a message from her yesterday. She goes, "I miss going to work." I'm like, "Yeah, even the stuff that bothers me at work, I miss it." Because we are so out of our norm type thing. And I talk all day at work. So now I'm like calling our friend Sean during the day. I'm calling Ann during the day. I'm doing this during the day or whatever. I'm like, I need to talk during the day because otherwise it's not normal for me.
so you're not doing Zoom classes or
Not all of my students have access to internet and a device in order to do those particular meetings. I have Zoomed with them a couple times for those that were able to have that technology, but we're not necessarily teaching classes. We're sending work out to them. Like I sent paperwork a couple weeks ago because I'm being math. It was just easier to send them a textbook chapter that they could work through with examples and things like that, because math is very hard to do even on a Zoom thing unless you have like a whiteboard where you're sharing a screen and things like that, because math is one that you need like modeling in order to understand it type thing. So it's difficult for me to do that, to do a class like that. But I do send out messages to the students every so many days going, if you need help, make sure you drop me an email. I can send, I'm like, let me know what you're doing, because I can always scribe it out and write it out on a piece of paper and then take a photo of it and email it back to them. Because I'm really good at that part.
right.
So, but the unit they're working on is like shopping and like ready to wear, taxes, adding stuff in, what's your total, subtotal, discounts, markups, all that kind of real life stuff. So most of them are like, yeah, this is actually not too bad. We're good with you right now. I'm like, okay.
Congratulations.
So, but no, I went out yesterday and picked up work from one of my students' houses. They had put it on the front step for me because they just didn't know how to get it back. And to save them postage, I'm just like, I'll be more than happy to drive around to pick it up. It was a nice sunny day. I'm like, no contact necessary. Just put it outside. And they're like, okay. So they're like, that's
it was
awesome.
nice,
You're
beautiful
gonna get
sunny
it
spring
out.
day until like 4:00, and then suddenly, bam! It just like, oh, back to Rochester. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. It was nice and sunny today too. It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I don't know. Riker is not choosing to do anything this week because he's like, it's spring break. I'm like, buddy, they took spring break away from all the schools. I'm like,
Not all of them. There's a couple of
No?
them that are still hanging in there. I'm noticing.
I was going to say because technically I'm working this week. This isn't a spring break week for us. But they said don't do any Zoom team meetings, don't do whatever. It's just basically like a paperwork week. So I'm like, okay. But I don't know. But Riker's like, yeah. But Rush Henrietta didn't say anything about having stuff going on this week. He did get a call from the social worker today. And she's like, how you going? How's it going? I missed you. And Riker was so excited. And he had a video chat with his teacher last week. And I think he talked to her on Zoom or Google Meet for like an hour.
Okay.
So he was so excited, but he's just like plopped on the bed earlier when I was watching Runaways. And he's just like, I miss school. I'm like, I know, buddy. He misses the chance, the routine of seeing his friends, and I mean, being home. Like he's like just can't structure himself in order to go in and check to see what he needs to do and things like that.
Right.
So, and since I'm technically working, I'm just like, it's kind of difficult for me to do stuff with him and work and help Tyler all during the day. And plus it cuts into my WoW time.
I was wondering where that was going to come in fitting into the equation.
The important part of all this.
The definitely important part of all this. Come on.
You know, this one, she got me back into World of Warcraft after about
I'm
a year
sorry.
hiatus. No, you didn't. You know, you're not. Don't even say that. Don't lie to me. But because everybody's been penned in and stuck in their houses, Blizzard, in their brilliant hive mind, turned around and gave everybody a 100% experience point boost. So basically, all characters are like getting double XP, and so if you have an alt, or if you want to kick back and play a new character or anything like that, you're flying. Like our friend Sean and me, we have a little trio of characters. We started at level 1. Not
9 days ago.
We finished just the other day ago, but a week, 9 days ago, and they're already level 70. Are we level 70, 71, 72?
72,
I mean, it's just like bam,
like
bam, bam, bam. I remember my very first character, because I've been playing World of Warcraft since it first came out. My very first character, it took him like a week just to get to level like 15, 16. So it's just such a dramatic difference. It's like, oh my God, what is happening here?
Yeah, it was so surreal. What was it?
Levels in 1 day alone?
Last Tuesday. It was last Tuesday. You did 24 levels in 1 day.
That was insane.
And it was over about a 4-hour time period.
I'm like,
between
holy cow, what is going on here?
The hour that we played at lunchtime, and then we picked back up at about 5 o'clock that night. And yeah, about 4 hours later, we were getting ready to hit like level 40 something.
That's crazy. It was fun. It's been fun. I've been enjoying the game for the first time in a while. It's not felt like grindy work. It's been feeling like, oh, we're just freewheeling and having a good time. So that's kind of cool. So it's kind of given the game a little bit of a renaissance for me. So that's kind of nice. All right. So what are we doing tonight other than just shooting the shit?
I'm going to answer some questions.
You have questions for me?
I have questions.
We always have questions, but
people are always asking me questions.
Like, what are you doing?
Some we can answer, some we can't.
Everyone's questioning Chris.
Yes.
Yeah.
That seems to be a daily occurrence.
That's not new.
I thought it would just be fun just to have an episode. I have a big list of 315 different questions.
Where did you get these questions from?
I searched around. I compiled a list of some of my favorite ones here.
I'm slightly frightened.
Entering them all in the world's longest podcast.
There you go. Every single one of them in order.
Between the three of us, we'll figure and knock out 2 or 3 questions apiece. So
or see how long this goes. I mean, if it's
somewhere
long answer.
So when we go, so when we all can answer the one question. I mean, you can all answer the same question. So I mean,
that's true too.
So when we come back from our break, you're gonna break into those questions.
Yeah, just start giving me some numbers.
Like it. Very cool. Okay, cool. So we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, Dan is going to question the panel. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We're all ready? We're going to have some fun with this now?
We're ready.
All right.
We're ready. We're ready. We're
What's
ready.
the number first?
So who wants to go first?
Oh, I'll go first.
Okay, Tanya, you're first. Pick a number from 1 to 315.
I'm going to go 8.
Okay.
8. Okay. So this is more of a statement. So discuss this statement. Comic books are just for kids. Any of you can go. Any of you.
God, no. I hope not.
Absolutely not.
I'm way too old to be a kid.
I don't know. I still haven't read my first one yet, and I was supposed to do it a couple weeks ago. Jessica keeps...
And you're one of the comic chicks.
I know. Jessica keeps sending me text messages like, did you read your comic book? I'm like, I read. She's like, your comic book? I'm like, not yet. And she'll just send me the shaking cow head picture. So I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm like, they're in the vicinity. I promise. I'll read it tomorrow.
I think one of the problems is nowadays they're actually aimed more towards adults than they are kids. Like, there are definitely books aimed towards younger people, but
right.
When I was a kid, I used to go to the drugstore. There was a spinny rack, and I'd pick out a book or two, and they cost anywhere from 20 cents to $1.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, the price is restrictive, and the places you can get them at aren't as common. So I think they're less for kids now than they ever were.
Do you think they grew up with us?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's, and I know I've talked about something similar in the past. We've made commentary about Star Wars movies and things like that. I don't know if they've grown all the way up to like there's titles that are really adult, and then there's titles that are you still have your good old fashioned Archie comics, but even Archie dips into some, very mature themes lately, dealing with a lot of social issues as they will. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That was fun.
All right. Another number.
Okay. Billy, you go.
Okay. I'm going to go 65.
65. What is something popular now that annoys you?
Without having seen it, the explosion of Tiger King.
I was so going to say that. I was so going to say that myself. I do not get what that is all about right now, and I'm not going to go looking for it either.
I'm planning on looking at it.
I couldn't even watch the trailer for it. I mean...
So what was the question again?
We don't need a dumbing down of society at this moment.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, we already dealt with the Kardashians. We don't need this.
The question was, what is something popular now that annoys you?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Tiger King and Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing, at least it could be fun, it looks like. So,
yeah, I have enough games to play right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know. I don't know if it... Maybe just the Fortnite thing, because it's constant in my house.
Yeah, it's constant in my house, too.
It's the, don't kill me, don't take my stuff. Wait, no, don't kill me. I think what annoys me is the bossiness of how Riker gets when he's playing the game. And I come up and I'm like, no, you're not. I'm like, if this is how you're going to act, you're going to get off of it. So I'm like, I think that's the thing that annoys me the most about it.
Okay. All right. Next number.
Let's see. Okay, so it was 865, and I got to hit my F9. 153.
Ooh.
Dan's got to go a couple pages down.
All right. So we have... What kind of things do you like to cook or are good at cooking?
What are the kind of things I like? What's that?
Shenanigans.
I don't cook shenanigans. I leave that to Michael Koski and Greg French.
I didn't say you.
Things I like to cook. Say the question again.
What kind of things do you like to cook or are good at cooking?
Well, I'm told my chili is quite good. And being half Italian, I have a genetic predisposition to cooking marinara sauce. So, and as a matter of fact, I just made a fresh pot of that the other day. So those are my two things that I like to do the most. As any good old-fashioned guy, I like to grill the occasional piece of cow. Although I haven't had a chance to do that in a while because I don't have a grill at my new house, but I'll fix that this summer somewhere along the line. So yeah, that's kind of a thing for me.
Nice. How about the other two?
I'll go next. There's a casserole my mom used to make that when I lived on my own, I used to make all the time, either in a casserole dish. Turns out it's just as good in a crock pot. Italian sausage, potatoes, peppers, onions, and mushrooms, and you just let it cook, and it's delicious. In fact, I have it. Actually, I wound up making it for Susan when she first started coming around, and now she makes it regularly. Except doesn't put as many potatoes, or hardly any at all. The potatoes were my favorite part, but my diabetes is such a pain in the ass.
I know, no kidding.
I plan on dying from a high A1C now instead of the coronavirus because I've been cheating a lot on my carb intake over the last few weeks. But the Italian sausage casserole stuff.
That sounds good.
Nice.
Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
I was sneezies.
Do you have the sneezies?
I had the sneezies.
That happens. Something that I'm good at cooking.
Do you like to cook or are good at cooking?
She likes to cook the phone number for Salvatore's.
Nope, it's not Salvatore's.
Mark's.
Mark's. Well, I mean, I can cook, and I know how to cook. There's just so many times where I choose not to cook. I'm all about microwaving. I'm all about like the quick, fast stuff now.
You've made a fairly good Alfredo sauce in the past.
Yes, I can make Alfredo from a recipe, not from a jar. Actually, following the recipe, I do. That would be one that I love to make is Alfredo. I'm thinking like currently the one that I'm pretty good at. That it's pretty simple. Is my Parmesan chicken, not chicken parm. It's Parmesan chicken. It's the one with the homemade. With the crust, with the mayonnaise and the Parmesan cheese and the breadcrumbs, and it's just chicken breast. It's like really, really easy to make, and that with mashed potatoes. And if it's not that, I have someone grill, and then I make fried potatoes and corn on the cob.
Very nice.
Is my absolute favorite meal. But I don't cook, and when I do, I'm just like I'm throwing things together. I'm not one of those get into the kitchen and start making a gourmet meal. I'm more about the sides rather than like the main dish.
It's all good being part of a team.
Okay.
It was all the cooking I had to do as a child. Being an only child, I cooked every night. So now that I'm an adult, I'm like, I don't have to. I can microwave.
There you go.
Nice.
All right, Tanya, it's your turn again.
77.
77. Let's see.
Spirit of 77.
What's the best way to discover new music?
Ooh, this is
there used to be a really cool radio show.
I know. I was just about to say, there used to be this Sunday morning radio show, music show, that I could find some really cool music. I think, being a teacher, I have students that listen to a wide variety of music, and and some I'm just like, I don't want to listen to it because they have like the N-word in it, or it has something like really derogatory type thing, and I'll have them turn it off. But some of it is just seeing what other people are listening to. I'm like, I always go back to the 60s, 70s, 80s. I'm like, I very rarely listen to something in today's songs. Like if someone's like, "Oh, this is a new song," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, they're like, "It's really popular right now," and I'm like, "I don't listen to those radio stations." I'm like,
you go, "Why?"
Yeah, I'm just like, I was happy. Like yesterday, it was sunny. It was a nice day. My Billy Joel station's back on my XM radio, because it's been jumping from like Billy Joel to something else, and now it's back to Billy Joel, and I'm like, yes. So I'm like, why? Yeah, no. So that's me.
So not so much new music, but just music that you like.
Yeah.
See, I like finding new stuff, and it's actually easier now than it ever has because all of the apps, whether it's Spotify or Amazon or iHeart, just based on what you listen to, they'll say, "Hey, try this,"
Mm-hmm.
and if you do, you might find stuff you like, and so I do that every once in a while.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean, yeah, Rochester is so vibrant for the local music scene. I mean, right now, it's not as bright and vivacious as the 50 Cent word of the day that we'll use today. But I mean, because everybody's shut in, but still, there's so many places, so many, bars and music halls and places to have
Rochester
festivals.
Is the king of festivals.
Oh my God, we got a ton of festivals.
So bands playing music, you go out and find, hey, they played a song I like. Let's check that out.
It's cool, and I can't wait for, this city when it wakes back up after this craziness going on. When it settles back down, I can guarantee you there's going to be music all over the place. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I hope it opens up for the summer.
Oh God, yeah, you and me both. But that depends on people, doesn't it?
Exactly.
So.
All right.
So next number.
All right. I'm going to go 37.
37.
Let's see. Where is it? What would be your first decision if you were elected president?
Oh God!
Oh my!
Oh God! There's too many to choose from.
Oh God! I think I would just do the opposite of whatever's happening now.
Yeah.
It would be, but no, I was going to say, actually, this might be Bizarro World right now. So, okay, this last guy, he did this, so I'm going to try reversing that.
Yeah.
Doing it the other way. I would maybe not fire everyone I hire a month after I've hired them.
Or a week after I hired them.
Yeah, exactly. So that's too loaded a question. So I'm just going to stick with try not to. I was going to
F everything up.
F everything up.
Does anybody else want to venture to answer that?
Oh, there's too many things to start with. Let's see.
I think things going on.
Go ahead, Tanya. You jumbled over me.
Just being knowledgeable about things going on and being able to not fix things, because of course we can't fix everything being president. That's just not how the world works. Mm-hmm. But being open and listening to all sides of possible solutions to things and seeing which ones are the most humane things in order to get things done.
First of all, I mean, as a political science student myself, I've talked about this with several people. We've had debates on policies and whatnot that we would do. For me, the first thing I would do would. Oh, I'm sorry to say it this way, but I would probably drop like a massive Lysol bomb in the West Wing just to clear out the stank.
You're going to go jump on the bed, aren't you?
I'm going to have the bed thrown out and burned in the Rose Garden.
Well, you get to redecorate how you want.
Yeah. For me, I think the esoteric things is my first campaign as a president would be to separate money from politics, get the campaign funding rules under control so that corporations can't buy politicians. Once I've done that, then I would go on a campaign to start working on amendments to create term limits for Congress. Once I've done that, then I would start putting there's a list of things I would do just to clean the system out. I wouldn't even be able to do anything as president because I'd be too busy trying to, pull this tangled mess of wire that everybody's put together over the years and straighten the bag of snakes out. And
the healthcare system needs fixing. There's so many things.
Everything is, but you're not going to be able to be successful at any of it until you create a foundation that actually can work for the people. Because right now, in my personal opinion, here's my political opinion, we live in an oligarchy. the rich people rule the country because nothing happens without them signing off on it, and we forget that the common people outnumber the rich people, and that's how we got Barack Obama in 2008. Right? We were able to go, hey, we like this guy. And the rich people are like, no, you're not supposed to like the guy. And we did, screw you, we don't care. And we're going to go get this guy now. And we did. Right? And then the rich people turned around and fought that for 8 years straight. And now look where we are. So for me, it'd be I would blow if I was blessed to have 2 terms, I would probably end up blowing just the first term alone, just trying to clean the system out. And then in the second term, starting to actually fix policies so that you're not giving away the store, because that's not really what liberals want, even though conservatives accuse us of all the time. We don't want to give away everything. We just want to balance the scales so that, that it's all fair. That would be my second term, I suppose.
That people have a chance. If they put themselves out there.
Yeah.
We're not going to give it to you, but if you're going to put yourself out there, make the effort, we're going to help you.
Exactly.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
That's just crazy talk, though. Come on.
I know. Seriously, I'm insane.
What are you talking about?
I know. What you talking about, Willis? And wow, I think that's the stiffest and most political we've ever gotten in the 4 years of doing the show. That's amazing. So thank you for drawing that out of me. As soon as you asked the question, I was like chomping at the bit. I'm like, oh my God.
Whose turn is it for the numbers?
It's Chris's, I think.
It's my turn for number. Yeah. And so the magic F9 key says 293.
Ooh, a high number. Okay.
And I'm having a sip of cider. Thank you very much.
Oh, this is a fun. Hey, that's what I'm drinking too. If life were a video game, what would some of the cheat codes be?
Oh shit! Okay, I like that. That's cool. Wait, hang on. I gotta look.
As a non-video game person, I don't think I understand the question.
Is this like an up down A B A B?
I was just going for that one. I was just looking for that.
Yes.
Billy, there are certain games out there that if you do a certain sequence of things, like on a console game, if you push the right set of buttons or whatnot, you get access to certain modes.
Okay,
right?
Even back in the old Nintendo things, there was
yes.
a way to skip
Exactly.
They've had them forever almost.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
So yeah, up down. Oh, no, it's up down left right BA start. Let's see. Okay, since this is my question, I actually have to come up with something. Okay,
if life were a video game, what would some cheat code be?
/ all bills off. It basically shuts down the need to pay any bills. It's basically that's it. You don't worry about it. Your bills have been nullified at this point. Here you go. Here's fun. Here's one for the Matrix set. / I know kung fu. And then you start acting like Keanu Reeves for about 12 hours.
Not gonna make like a fancy handshake or something to be your cheat code, and
that's a cool one. I like that. Like a fancy handshake with somebody, and then it's like a team effort kind of a thing. Like
you do the Macarena, you get to do something. Something.
There you go. Okay, now I understand the spirit of your question, and I enjoy that. Just thinking like in a team component. Since life is an MMO essentially, right? Mm-hmm. So I walk up to you. You know the secret handshake. I know the secret handshake. We share the secret handshake, and suddenly we get like free ice cream for 24 hours.
Ooh. Yeah, now you're talking.
Actually, that's where I was going. I was going to open the freezer twice. Open all my cupboards, go down to the basement, come back upstairs, open the freezer again. Oh, and there's the pint of ice cream I was with.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good one, Billy. I like that.
Oh, here's one for Tanya that I was thinking of. She finds out she's pregnant. She starts massaging her belly in a certain way, and instead of having to wait 9 months, boom, there's the baby. She doesn't even have to go through labor.
Oh, jeez.
This is where the podcast starts going off the rails. Yes.
What do you mean start?
It totally went off the rails anyway.
Okay.
I don't know. I want to say go back to like the / eat what you want, gain no weight.
Ooh, there you go. I like that one.
I like that cheat code. Yeah, I would have to go with Chris in regards to not having the bills or something that would give you like would cook your meals for you, like one of those like auto chefs, that type of stuff.
You want a food replicator like the
I do, like Star Trek.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Okay.
That's
Next
about
one.
it. Oh, okay. So
Next
I
number.
guess it's about me. 202.
Ooh, let's see. What big event do you think will happen soon that most people aren't expecting?
Well, I think a lot of people are expecting the end of the world right now.
As we know it, it's the
I feel
end
fun.
of-
Nobody expects a Spanish Inquisition.
Inconceivable.
Perfect.
Um,
The Inquisition. What a show. The Inquisition. Here we go.
That
Sorry.
was a Monty
what
Python
was
reference.
the
Tanya.
question again? Name.
What big event do you think will happen soon that most people aren't expecting?
I don't know. I think at this point of our quarantine 2020, we are literally probably expecting anything to happen at this point. Maybe people aren't expecting gas prices to go any lower.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. They're going to actually probably go back up.
Probably. I don't know.
Do you think and this is semi-serious, actually pretty serious. Do you think that where we're at now is going to sort of even things out among people, rich or?
Well, I'm kind of interested in what he's doing, like with climate and everything. You know, how, so many places, like China and the places with a lot of pollution are clearing up.
Right.
I'm kind of curious if that's going to have a long-term effect. The fact that it's happening now, and people are going to just wake up and say, "Oh,
this is something we should be paying attention to." Well, here's the thing. The one thing I've noticed during the course of this crisis is that intelligent people and average people, average and above average intelligence, are taking note of this and going, "Hey, we need to learn from this." Even if folks are a little skeptical, they're like, "Well, geez, there is stuff going on here, so let's pay attention to what's going on." However, the dumb remain dumb.
And they're loud.
Oh my God! And they're being allowed to remain dumb, and so be that as it may, to let Tanya off the hook, I'll jump in a little bit. I think the thing I would predict that nobody's expecting is that this is going to go on all year. I have a feeling that this coronavirus thing is going to go on all of 2020 because people are not prepared to take it seriously.
It's going to keep coming back.
It's going to keep coming back. There's going to be a second wave, a third, a fourth, because people are going to be like, "Oh, it's fine. It's not affecting us." And then bam, it's going to affect another 100,000 people because people stopped being careful. Nobody wants to take just 2 or 3 weeks, shut the whole freaking planet down, which I know is logistically impossible. I get that. But, do the best you can.
Closer than I thought it would happen, boy.
What's that?
We've gotten a lot farther along that line than I thought would happen. Wow.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Oh, these have been really thinkies. I like that. I'm used to what's better, Star Wars or Star Trek? I'm used to that.
There might be a couple of those in here too, but it's a little bit of everything.
I'm expecting what's more powerful, the Enterprise or the Millennium Falcon? It's like that. Why are you going to compare, a fully rated Navy exploration vessel versus your buddy and his weed van? It's
all right. So don't ask this number over here.
Okay.
If you say this number, you go up or down by 1.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them that are similar, not quite like that, but they're close. So
I'm looking forward to those.
Yeah, it's a good variety.
And I'm just going to say 12 right off the bat because that's my favorite doctor. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. Moving on. Who has not jumped in on this particular question yet, on question 202?
I think we've all.
You have something?
We all said something in regards to this.
Okay.
Wilhelm, your
'Cause
next
it's
number,
hard.
please.
I'll go. Did I say 99 yet?
No.
Okay,
No.
99.
All right.
If your mind were an island, what would it look like?
Oh my God. If your mind was an island?
What would it look like? I'm assuming there'd be monkeys running all over it.
Squirrels at a rave.
Let's see.
Would there be excellent music playing all the time?
Yeah, there'd be music. There'd be a lot of. I guess it would be semi-entertaining. There'd be actually there wouldn't be very many people. I'm learning, and I sort of had the idea. I'm pretty good at the social isolation thing. I still like people to talk to. I like talking to you guys. I like talking to my old radio cohorts that I Facebook Lived with. I've enjoyed my Carlson Comedy podcast people, but then they go away and I get to read and listen to podcasts and stuff. So
Get them in small doses, you're happy.
It's sort of like, if you ever watch Gilligan's Island, for some reason, every once in a while, some random pilot would land on the island, or there'd be other tribesmen, but you'd never see them again after that.
Right.
I think maybe I'd be sort of like Gilligan's Island, where it has occasional visitors, but for some reason, the cast never got off the island until the late 70s. So, and with monkeys.
With monkeys.
Okay, I have my island. It's definitely going to be. There's a lot of it. There's a lot on it, but it's color coded and organized in regards to what is where. Except for a portion of it is like that junk drawer in your house where you just shove everything else in there that doesn't fit anywhere else. So that's what my there's the gaming part of the island, and then there's the sleeping part of the island, and then there's the Doctor Who part of the island, and everything is like categorized type thing. And then there's
a cave in the back that's going under the cave.
Yeah, don't go into the cave because you just shove everything else in there because it doesn't fit anywhere else.
I adore how OCD you are sometimes. I really do.
But it's like, okay, that would be like, because my mind, I'm like, I have things compartmentalized in my mind and organized, but then there's all this stuff that's like jumbled in there that I'm trying to figure out and try to put words in there, and I'm like, okay, that's just shoved into that back of the cave of the island that I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but yes.
Actually, that's a great call. When I lived in that house on Avis Street and Susan first started to come to town, I used to tell that one room, don't go in that room. Everything that you can go anywhere else you want, that room, don't even look in it. Nothing bad in there. Just I'm embarrassed of how it looks at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, that's my whole house at home right now. My workplace. I mean, Chris, you've seen pictures of my classroom, and it just, I mean, truly, I have things color coded. My AM binders are blue. My PM binders are black or red type thing. Everything has its spot at work. You come home in my house, I'm like, yeah, there's things that have their own spots, but it's the whole house is the cave where you just shove everything in it, and hopefully things are. And that's what happens when I have 5 people that live in this house, and I can't. It drives me up a wall. But Chris will tell you, my gaming section and my desk at where I work for FC3 and things like that. There's certain parts of the house that are definitely OCD, truly organized, and not necessarily the junk drawer cluttered like the rest of the 2,000 square feet that are in here. And it's a never-ending battle when you have a 21-year-old and an 11-year-old. There's toys, there's whatever, videos, a husband, a mother-in-law. That I'm like, granted, she keeps most of her stuff in her room, but there's just a lot of stuff. And I really was thinking about renting one of those big roll-off dumpsters and just start shoving everything into it during this time of
just
isolation.
Make sure you don't dump your mother-in-law into it.
No, I won't do that. She can't climb over the edge. So,
Oh, if you're persuasive enough, I'm sure she could get over there.
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Oh God, I've been thinking about
what's
this
your
since the question
island?
got asked. My island. Here's the thing: the visual that keeps popping into my head is way back in the day when I was a kid and I was building with Legos all the time. I had an old table in the basement and I made my Lego city down there, right? So it was part like regular Main Street kind of with stores and places to go. And there was a little police station, there was a little fire station and whatnot. And then there was a spaceport inexplicably at one end. And then there was a really nice house at the other end. So my island would probably be a mirror of my Lego table when I was a kid, right? Now there's nuances to this. It's very important nuances. Everything would be very streamlined, very elegant, very simple. Not simple, but very kind of easy and not complicated and convoluted. And it would look very lovely. And to the outside observer, it would be like idyllic. However, what you would not be seeing right away is me running around from place to place to place because shit keeps breaking all the freaking time because it's my life and that's the way it works. As soon as I put my finger in the dike over here, I have to go, oh, now I have to go fix this thing over here. Oh, I fixed that thing. Now this is broken over here. Oh, now my house is on fire. Okay, this is going to be fun. That's the way my life works because, case in point, my car. As soon as I fix one thing, another thing breaks. So there you have it. That's my island. And there would be lots of dogs because dogs are cool. Not like thousands of them, but at least maybe like 5 or 6 or a dozen or maybe 5 dozen. 5. We'll say 5.
That's how big the island is. Yeah.
So that's where I am on that one.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Okay, so that was 99.
Okay. And
So
it's my turn to
Brett.
pick a number again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hitting the F9 of doom. Oh, I love it. 42.
Oh, what's 42? Let's see.
The answer to life, the universe, and everything.
Well, I know that. What is the absolute weirdest nickname someone has given you?
The weirdest nickname?
Yes.
How many people give me nicknames usually? But Stilts is my long-standing nickname that I've had since high school.
Yep.
For all the obvious reasons. I've been called Captain.
Short, right?
Yeah, he's just short, right?
Yeah, I'm so short. My ex-wife used to call me Christopher Robin when she would try to admonish me very cutely. Like, oh, Christopher Robin. And I'd be like, what poo? That kind of a thing. Weird nicknames. I really never had a lot of nicknames, so weird nicknames, I can't think of one at the moment. No. My great-grandmother on my mom's side used to call all the little kids Chimich, which apparently was an Italian word for kind of like little bugs all scurrying around, right? And it's become a term of endearment. Like I even call Ian Chimich still to this day. It's just something you pass down. So I guess of strange nicknames, that's probably the most oddest one, but it's got such an endearing quality because of the memory it invokes for me. So there's my best answer for that.
Okay.
Oh God. I've had a couple of nicknames growing up. My Uncle Steve nicknamed me Grace.
Because you kept falling all over the place.
Yes. So that was on my mom's side of the family. On my dad's side of the family, I was Tanya Tucker. So for the obvious reasons that they liked country music. But I think the oddest one, and no one in my family knew it except for myself and my Uncle Todd. He would call me Tanya the Pooper for some unknown reason. And it is just like when my grandmother was dying in November, we were sitting by her bedside. And I had walked in and I went over to my Uncle Todd, who was my dad's youngest brother. And I just snuggled in right next to him and gave him a hug. And he kissed me on the forehead or whatever. And he's like, Tanya the Pooper, how are you? And the rest of my family turned and looked at what? And I'm like, I'm good, whatever. And they're like, we have never heard it. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's been calling me this for at least the last 30 years. So, but no one else in the family has ever picked up on it. But I'm like, yeah, that's a constant, because my grandmother knew it and Todd knew it, but it was just, and he goes, I don't even know how she got that name. He goes, I just started doing that one time. And I'm like, okay. But, and one of my students, one of my cousins, she couldn't pronounce Tanya. So it was Tana.
Tana.
So Tana.
That's cute.
It was Tana for like the longest time. So when I was talking to one of my students, she started calling me Tana, and then a couple of the other students, their nickname for me is Maddie Patty and Metro Mattress and and Mom. A lot of kids call me Mom at school.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of nicknames.
I've heard that actually. There's that one student that we ran into out in the wild that knows Jules.
Yep. She's like, Mom. And I'm like, what are you doing? That type of stuff. So I have a lot of nicknames, but so yes, I went to the embarrassing one, but I still don't know how I got it. It just so.
Mine aren't necessarily super weird because through my whole life, people call me Bill. And it wasn't until we started calling me Billy on the radio that Billy really picked up. But I'm used to everybody calls me Billy. In high school, I went through a time where people would refer to me as Mr. Bill because of the Saturday Night Live character.
Oh, no, Mr. Bill.
Oh, no, Mr. Bill. So I had a group of friends whenever they said, oh, no, Mr. Bill. The weirdest one to me, even though it's a variation of my name, but she's the absolute only one that calls me this. And an ex-girlfriend of my brother's who will still reply to like Facebook posts and stuff of mine using the name Willie. No one calls me Willie but her, but she always has. And I'm not a Willie, but to Judy, I'm Willie. And I don't know why. Hey, Willie. What am I, Alf?
Might kill me.
So I don't particularly respond to Willie if anyone else called me that, but her.
Right. There's a trigger there at least.
Because even Susan will see the post. Go, why does she call you Willie? And I go, I don't know. No one else ever has or ever will, and I've known her for 30 years now, so I don't know.
All right. So there's the 42.
All right. Need another one, some more?
78.
78. Are there any songs that always bring a tear to your eye?
Oh, God. No, I don't want to answer that one.
Landslide by Stevie Nicks. That will definitely bring a tear to my eye. I'm sure there's some more, but I think it depends on how I'm feeling it. Wind Beneath My Wings is another one that will bring a tear to my eye. And Taps at a funeral at a military funeral.
Oh, yeah, that's another one.
Those are the three definites that will make me cry.
Well, you were there at my grandfather's funeral. As soon as they started playing Taps, I lost it. I was done.
Oh my God.
I'd held together the entire day until that. I was like, oh, crap.
It was either Sean's dad or Sean's grandfather. They had bagpipes in the back of the church that were playing. And when they brought the casket in, and the same thing for Deanna's dad, as they were playing Taps at the church and then Taps at the cemetery, and yeah, I had lost it. So I'm sure there's definitely more songs. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in. If I'm already kind of like sad, any kind of sappy music is going to send me over that edge anyway. So.
Oh, how about you, Billy?
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on context and stuff, and
right,
and where and when and all that. But there is a song that I've been hearing every night because when I'm not chatting with you guys every night at 7:00, one of my favorite musicians does a live stream from his home where he plays some songs, tells some stories for about an hour, and I'm going to watch it when I'm done chatting with you guys. I'll watch it and delay tonight. Adam Ezra has a song called "The Toast," and it's a really touching song. And there's one line in it that always just sort of chokes me up and makes me melancholy, I guess. The verses, raise your glasses, let us drink to the end of the day, let us drink to the work when the working is through, let us drink one to me, let us drink one to you, let us drink one to those who aren't with us. And with his delivery, the way he sings it, the line, let us drink to those who aren't with us, kind of, I recommend you check out the song. And it is one of my favorites, and he does it every night during his live stream. He always mixes up the set list, but that's a song called The Toast that always sort of chokes me up.
Mm-hmm. I've gotten an affinity for a lot of orchestral and classical music over the past 5 to 10 years. I've always been exposed to it. My parents have always been, very fond of it, and they listen to it. We listen to a lot of Channel 21, and we've gone to the RPO and things like that. So over the years, so it's not like I've never been exposed to it. Don't think I ever truly appreciated it until recently. Through a couple of mutual gaming friends, I met somebody who was actually one of the first chair violins for the RPO, and I studied piano under their pianist for a while. So I've gone and I've been able to talk about it and listen to it. So there's a lot of different pieces of music, and I think it's like Billy says, got to be context and emotion and situation. So I take that and I set that aside. Of popular music. My favorite piece of music of everything above all else is the Beatles song In My Life.
Oh, great song.
Oh, it's my absolute favorite piece of music on the planet in history, right? And it's a simple 2.5-minute song, and it gets me every time I hear it because I've adopted the message of it, and so I think about it and what it means to me, and the people I've met and the people I don't have in my life anymore. So I don't know if I really am ready to cry whenever I hear that song, but it definitely it moves me.
It hits you.
Yeah, it hits you. But the third piece that I'm going to talk about, and I might not make it all the way through the telling, so I apologize ahead of time for maybe being a little bit of a downer. And I know I've talked about this particular incident in my life in podcasts past, but there is a piece of music that is playing in the background during a series finale of David Tennant's run of Doctor Who. They've just saved all reality from the Daleks. All of his companions are on board. They're all teaming up to fly the TARDIS and pull, the Earth back into its place. It's this soaring, victorious piece, right? It's this soaring moment, and everybody's ecstatic and happy, and you're lifted up into the joy of it. And I remember it was on a Sunday, and when I got a chance to watch it, because it always played on Saturdays, and I was able to download it and watch it on a Sunday. And so we watched it, and we were all thrilled, and it was just such a hell of an ending. It was so wonderful. And then Monday morning, I found out my friend Brian had passed away the day before. So whenever I hear that music, I think of this soaring joy, but it also represents a day that I lost something important to me. So, yeah, like I said, I apologize, and that was a bit of a downer, but still, that's an honest moment right there.
No, that's a strong one.
Yeah, and I will intentionally watch that episode over and over again just to get to that final scene because it's such a vast mix of emotions for me. But I want to feel that. I never want to lose that because for me, that kind of a moment, that kind of all that duality of emotion, that's what it means to be human. And I never want to lose track of that. I never want to lose sight of that. So, okay, Billy, pick a number.
Okay. Let's see. I'll go with number 112.
Perfect.
In the past, people were buried with the items they would need in the afterlife. What would you want buried with you so you could use it in the afterlife?
Who knows? This may be coming up soon. Let's see. What would I need in the afterlife? See, I heard a comedian.
Twizzlers.
Oh, actually, Susan says Twizzlers. She just rejoined us, and that's a good call. Twizzlers may be an example. Actually, some sort of iPod, Kindle, something where I can listen to music. I was about to say there was a comedian who used to do a bit about like transplants. I don't want to give up my eyes or my lugs. What if I need them in the afterlife and I'm walking around heaven and I can't see where I'm going?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think even if there was something I'd need in the afterlife, Twizzlers is good. Music.
Me.
Is Susan. Well, you'll be there.
Maybe not in the same place.
Maybe Susan says maybe not.
We're all going to the same place, and it's going to be fun.
Maybe a cat. Yeah, I'll take a cat with me. Or I'll see Geraldine that's already passed away and in the Catwoman piggy bank on my mantle. But
there you go.
So those are my answers: music, and snacks, and the cat.
That's good. How about you, Ton?
I think my gaming computer.
Okay. Because who knows what the internet's going to be like in the afterlife?
Yeah, no kidding. We're going to have unlimited access to the internet, high-speed internet up there, or
it's all in the clouds. Thank you.
Nice. Tip your waitress. Tip your waitress.
No, I think I definitely have to have some comfy clothes, like a comfy sweatshirt and things like that. Just because there's times that I get cold, so I need need that and my weighted blanket.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would need. That I would take with me.
Even in heaven, she doesn't want to do the naked show.
How do you know I'm not naked now?
Ooh.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything.
Christopher?
Yes, dear. Well, like you, I'm thinking comfy clothes, so I'd want to be buried in jeans, sneakers, maybe a Doctor Who t-shirt, pea coat. My scarf is coming with me. And actually that's a legit thing because I have two. I have an 11-footer and a 19-footer. So the 19-footer I'm going to give to one of my grandkids who actually gets into Doctor Who if they actually are blessed to do so. But the 11-footer is going with me. I'm putting that in the will. Mm-hmm. I would want to have my backpack with me because it'll have all sorts of notebooks and probably a D&D player's handbook. Because I'm not guaranteeing that there's going to be electricity and internet in the afterlife. So I want to make sure I have something and a set of dice.
I'm electric enough, so I'll just charge everything.
There you go. And so I'm going to go old school and make sure that all my analog pen and paper stuff is with me. And I'll need a copy of Tolkien's Lord of the Rings in the backpack. So I'm good. And then in one of the pockets of the pea coat should be a supply of jelly babies. They'll survive. And I'm good. I think at that point I'd be solid. Right? So in the afterlife, I would need my glasses. I'll have them packed away just in case, but.
Hopefully not.
Okay, Chris. Last question.
Oh, I'm getting the last question. Okay. Let me click there. I am going to actually forego the F9, and I'm going to just say, give me 2.
Oh. All right. This is just a statement. Just dispute it or agree.
Okay.
The best Star Trek film was number 5. No question.
Which one was that?
That's ridiculous.
The Final Frontier, the one that Shatner actually directed. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. No, I will fight that one tooth and nail. Star Trek V was the movie that should never have been made. And I will supplant that with, but there have been some good Star Trek movies. Of the original cast first 6 movies, I will say the best were 2 and 6.
I don't know the numbers. I need the names.
Yeah, I'm going for
Wrath of Khan and Undiscovered Country.
Okay. Wrath of Khan is 2, right?
Yes.
That was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. That is hands down. That's one of the fan favorites. That typically, when people say favorite Star Trek movie, more often than not, you're going to hear Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan.
That's a great one, but I'm going 4. I love the one with the whales.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I'm not going to throw shade on that answer at all. That was a great movie.
They had some humor to it. I really enjoyed that one.
Well, double dumbass on you. The colorful metaphors. Would now be a time for a colorful metaphor, Captain? So
Yeah, so I think we were disputing that.
yeah, we'll dispute Star Trek V being a great movie. It was great for wanting to throw it. It's my favorite movie to throw out.
The throw shade on.
I'm gonna rank Star Trek V right up there with the Phantom Menace. Yeah.
So it's good if you fast forward to the fight scenes?
Exactly.
See, I actually enjoy 5 more than 1. I was tremendously disappointed in
Star Trek: The Motionless Picture.
Yeah, exactly.
As Wayne called it that one time, and that stuck with me. As soon as he said it, that stuck with my head. So thank you, Wayne, for giving me that one. All right. That's cool. That was fun, and there's like 300 more questions to go.
I know. We can do this again and again.
We can do this again and again sometimes. So whenever we're stuck, we'll just say, "Hey, Dan, bring out your questions." It's like, Dan, bring out your jokes.
I was going to say that, but oh no, Dan's got his
jokes. Dan, when we were in high school, used to print out all of these. Basically, in today's vernacular, the jokes that Dan collected would be called dad jokes. Okay, but at the time they were Dan jokes, right? So they were these corny things, but he would find them and he would put them on this printout, and he would print them out and he would bring them down to us every morning before school, and we'd be like, "Oh no, he's got the jokes with the dot feed, the dot matrix."
Green and white dot matrix printer. Paper,
that was belt or spool fed or something like that. It was crazy. You're so freaking old now. Oh my god. Madonna mia. All right, so we may go back to this again and again sometime in the future. This is
There's
fun.
a lot of fun questions.
And after this, we might actually get some questions from our fans.
Yeah, you guys ask us questions, and if there's something you're curious about or our opinion on something, I think, like I said, I think this is the most political we've ever gotten. So if you ever want to know our opinion on things, feel free to ask us. We'll share it. I got nothing to hide. So, all right, that was fun. Let's take a break. We'll comport ourselves appropriately, and then we'll close this thing up.
All right.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Are we? Is that really a thing? Are we back?
We are back.
I think so.
We are back. Very cool. Very cool.
That was fun.
That was fun. We got to do that again sometime. That was entertaining. At least for me, it was entertaining. I don't know.
Yeah,
about
I like stuff like that.
You didn't know what the questions were going to be.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. That's what stumped me for a little bit. I'm like, I need to think for a minute.
Ay. All right, so let's talk business for a minute. We usually do our events in this particular fashion, and so right now, even with the current health crisis shutting things down, we still have on the books May 16th, the cosplay day. We're going to keep an eye on things, and so if basically they say no, we come around to early May and it's still like everything's still kind of shut down, we'll make a judgment call, let people know. But Dan, tell us a little bit more about cosplay day.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that will probably be dependent on Seabreeze because that's kind of the big thing we wanted to we're starting it off at Seabreeze, and
right.
So it'll probably be dependent on it. It's probably not looking too good right now, but it might be delayed. Hopefully, it's just delayed, not canceled.
Right.
But basically, we're just going to try to get 4 or 5 cosplayers, and get some couple photographers that are professional photographers going around with us, and we're going to go around the city and get some fun pictures to just kind of celebrate Rochester, have fun. And then at the end of the day, if everything goes well, we're going to party it on at the 585 Rockin' Burger Bar.
Nice.
And having a cosplay pajama party.
And if we do fall through on May, we this is a day we want to plan, so we'll do it sometime over the summer when everything is lifted and back up and running. So if we do lose out on May eventually, this is not an idea that's just going to go away. We're going to we'll reclaim it and bring it down somewhere else.
We're going to do it. The original date was because it was 2 weeks before the original convention. We're trying to keep it there, to keep it with opening day of Seabreeze because it'd just be a fun day to be there. But yeah, we're going to do it no matter what. I think it's just depending on when all this stuff blows over. Hopefully, not too far in the future, but
exactly.
So yeah, be fun.
Very cool.
cosplay pajama party. You don't have to wear a cosplay. You don't have to wear pajamas, but you have to wear something.
You have to wear something.
Something more than gloves and a mask.
Right.
Yes. No, because I on a couple of occasions, especially when Dan and I lived together, when we had a townhouse together for a little while, we would throw themed parties.
Those were the days.
Yeah, we threw a toga party, we threw a costume party. One time we threw a pajama party, and of course the very first question we got was, well, what if you sleep in the nude? Well, when you're in your 20s, you're like, well, fine, prove it.
Go ahead.
but on a family-friendly event, we're going to say, no, you have to wear something.
Something.
So, all right. And then FLXCon is going to be August 15th
Yes.
in Waterloo from 10 to 4. And the Shenanigators will be still in house with us. Michael
Yes,
and
they will.
Greg are still going to be coming to hang out, so we'll be there. So if you're in the Waterloo, New York area, or if you're not, come visit. We'll be having fun with the Finger Lakes Radio Group, helping them produce their first convention. So that's going on. Do we have anything else going on? Comic Chicks every Wednesday night. Right now, It's at 6:30 rather than 8:00 because of the travel stuff going on. The powers that be want people in their homes and chilling out at 8:00. So,
we'll be taking all of our safety precautions of hand sanitizers, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Both Ann and I have masks, but you might not be able to hear us. So,
well, you and Ann have been pretty good about being in seclusion, so I don't think you're not going to be risking each other too much.
No, both of us have. I mean, I've gone to the only places I've been gone is like Wegmans and Walmart, and I come home and sanitize, wash my hands, all that type of stuff as soon as I get home. And I've been home there pretty much the rest of the time, and Ann's been working from home also.
Gotcha.
So we've both been pretty secluded. So.
And catch up with our Patreon. Our patreon.com site, which is when you get to patreon.com, it's FC3 ROC. We post a lot of things there, but right now, regularly, James Irish has been doing video game and console gaming blogs once a week. So every Tuesday, he usually does a little thing there. And if you like what we're doing with the podcast, please feel free to support us. We have plenty of patron levels to choose from. We can come up with a custom level if you're interested in sponsoring us going forward. We would love to have you on board and helping us out and keep making this great content that we really enjoy making. And we've been doing it for 4 years now. So we'd love to have you part of the show essentially. So that's basically the big stuff going on, culminating in September with FC3 2020, our 5th show, and which we will be having Jason Font, who we interviewed last week. We have a couple of voice actors coming. Mike McFarland is coming, and names that will be announced soon.
I'm just waiting for contracts.
Right.
Contracts to come back, and as soon as I get that, then we can let you guys know.
But unfortunately, we can't announce a name that sounds like Shark Mammal.
Really?
I'm just saying. We can't announce that name. That sounds like
that made me laugh, Chris.
I try to. My favorite thing is throwing out something that genuinely people enjoy, right? You know when you land the right joke because people's laugh goes from something that you're used to something different. There's this different level, this different tenor, and I have this streak lately where I've been making Billy and Tanya just crack up, and I'm loving that. That makes me feel so good. So I'm going to keep going for finding these little stupid things that I can say to make that happen. Anyway.
Okay.
Instead of doing a question of the week, how about we get Dan's list out for one more run?
One more question.
One more question from Dan's list, and that'll satisfy for our question
of
the week. I love that. Or maybe this list can be our question of the week list. All right. Anyway, Dan, you pick.
Okay, this is number 310.
Okay.
What fictional character is amazing in their book, show, or movie, but would be insufferable if you had to deal with them in mundane, everyday situations, and why?
Great question.
Oh, that's a phenomenal question. Okay. They're amazing in their book, TV show, or movie, but they would be absolutely insufferable to have around.
I got mine.
Day.
Everyday situations.
Mine would be Experiment 626, otherwise known as
Stitch.
He is an abomination, but he prefers to be cute and fluffy.
And cute and fluffy.
I think he's got a good heart, and I think I got a post from Michael Koski in regards to Suspicious Minds. What song would be playing at a bar if they saw me? What song would be playing? He said Suspicious Minds, which immediately made me think of Stitch from Stitch, because that was the record I think that Leela would always be playing because she loved Elvis.
Right.
I think in real life he would be an absolute nightmare, because he would be a combination of Juno, Athena, the rest of the cats and dogs that I've had growing up, and my kids all wrapped up in the one, and they would eat me out of house and home. Mm-hmm. There would be not enough. I mean, granted, he's cute and fluffy and adorable, but I think he would just be a nightmare to live with.
Okay. Billy, how about you?
I have one, and this goes back to the 80s when I first saw this movie.
Okay.
I went with a couple friends. We saw Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Nice.
And I enjoyed it, but one of my friends pointed out something that hadn't occurred to me, because Ferris Bueller is the hero of the movie. No, right. He's kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
And why would you want him around? He does nothing but get his friends in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
He breaks his best friend's father's car, drives it through the window. He does nothing but cause trouble for his friends, because he's arrogant and he wants it all to be about him.
Okay, that's fair.
So I'm going Ferris Bueller.
Ferris Bueller.
Just because I've always remembered that conversation after seeing that movie, what a jerk Ferris Bueller is.
All right. Sherlock Holmes is played by Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
He's absolutely stellar when he's doing and when he's in his groove doing it. But could you imagine having him around the house on a regular basis, especially during a quarantine? You would want to kill him. You'd be like, solve your own murder. And if you, my dear listener, has an input on that particular question, please feel free to add it to the post thread on our Facebook. We'd be loving to start that conversation up with you as well. Find out what other characters would be absolutely insufferable to live with on a day-to-day basis. Thinking like maybe like Dr. 11 too, for instance, Matt Smith's doctor, because he would just he gets bored like within 10 minutes. He's kind of, 11, I think, is the only doctor that truly has ADD. So
and he is one of my favorite doctor, I think. So
he's your favorite?
I think so. Yeah,
that's a discussion for another day, because I like them all, but I'm a Big 12 fan myself.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that on another podcast. Any last licks?
Nope.
No, I'm good.
All right. Then, this is right about where I'm going to say, Dan, cue the music. And he's cued the music. It's amazing how that works. I love that. It's great in post-production. And this has been Monkey Business, a product of the Mighty Monkey Corporation, purveyors and producers of the Flower City Comic Con, coming at you September 19th and 20th of the year 2020. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow us wherever we go, and we will lead you to where the entertainment is. I hope you guys have a great week, a safe week. We will talk to you again in 1 week. And until then, ciao for now.